Mesquite police released one officer's body camera footage from this week's deadly police shooting. Good evening. I'm Clarice Tinsley. That video is a little shaky. The incident happens fast.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't know.
Don't do it.
She said he had a knife. Hands up.
Police say right after the shots were fired, Ashton Pinke dropped the cane that had been modified into a club and a knife that were both in his hands. Afterward, police showed evidence photos of the two weapons. The knife was a box cutter. Pinke's family viewed the video and believes lethal force was not the answer. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is live with the story. Peyton.
Clarice, we learned today the moment the first officer knocked on Pinke's door to the moment when officers fired their weapons. It was 2 minutes and 1 second. We also learned today Pinke's girlfriend called 911 because she said Pinke punched her in the face, restricted her breathing, and threatened her with a knife over a financial dispute.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't know.
Don't do it.
She said he had a knife. Hands up.
Raw body cam footage released by the Mesquite Police Department Friday shows the moment 27-year-old Ashton Pinke was shot and killed by two officers on Tuesday. Police say Pinke charged at the officers while holding two deadly weapons, a club and a knife. That's when the officers fired 5 rounds in total. The pair of officers were initially called to Pinke's apartment concerning a domestic violence investigation. Pinke's girlfriend called 911 Tuesday. The 911 call and radio traffic were also released Friday. In the recording, you can hear Pinke's girlfriend crying in the background, followed by what police believe is a physical struggle.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
The caller hung up. According to public records obtained by Fox 4, police have been called out to Pinke's apartment 5 times since November. 4 of them were disturbance calls, and the most recent call 5 days before the deadly shooting. Andy has a criminal history that includes convictions for assault and weapons.
PD and shows to be a gang member. 222, we've tried calling back a few times. There's no answer. We've left him a message. 214 and 244. The last prior call to location does show Ashton Pinke to be a mental patient. He's bipolar, schizophrenic, and has depression.
Police say Pinke answered the door when the first officer showed up Tuesday.
I got a call of a disturbance.
No disturbance here.
Okay. Can I talk to you, ma'am?
There's no disturbance here.
Yeah, there is a disturbance here.
Police kept knocking multiple times. Pinke's girlfriend eventually came out the front door with the couple's toddler in her arms. She told the officer Pinke physically assaulted her.
Okay. Hang on just a second. What's he got in his hand? Does he have a weapon? I'm sorry?
A knife.
Okay, go ahead and come over here, ma'am.
Pinke's girlfriend said he ran upstairs to the back door and jumped down from the balcony.
Come on down here and talk to me.
A second officer arrives on scene and asks to see Pinke's hands before drawing his weapon.
See your hands.
He's supposed to have a knife.
Shoot! Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't know.
Don't do it.
She said he had a knife. Your hands up.
Mesquite police also released a version capturing more clearly the two weapons Pinke had while rounding the corner. When the officers fired their weapons, a club is seen dropped.
We can also briefly see the knife in his right hand. Mr. Pinke falls to the ground as continually given verbal commands by the officers. As Mr. Pinke rolls over, we see the knife fall from his right hand onto the ground.
Evidence photos show the club and the knife recovered from the scene. According to police, the club was modified to sockets from a socket set and batteries taped to both ends.
The taser is a useful tool for law enforcement in a lot of situations. In this incident, it was not. The taser is a less lethal device. The suspect was wielding 2 deadly weapons, and we're not countering 2 deadly weapons with a less lethal device.
Mesquite police officers are not required to carry tasers. However, both officers here were. Mesquite police admit only one body camera was shown due to a malfunction of the second officer's body camera.
They were well aware that this young man was dealing with mental illness issues.
Pink's family cites his mental illness, claiming there should have been some de-escalation. Friday, they, along with their team of attorneys, viewed the body camera footage an hour before it was released to the public.
You claim the knife was not visible, but when they slowed down the photo or the video, there's a knife that falls out of the hand.
I mean, obviously, and Curtis, you can add into this, obviously, I could not tell that he had a knife in his hand at the time that he was shot. And let me just be clear, it was not a knife. What we saw was a box cutter.
They weren't sent to a 1096 or what we would call a mentally disturbed person. They were sent to a 911 hang-up call involving a disturbance. So first and foremost, they're going to handle that situation and get that under control before they deal with anything from the mental aspect.
Both officers are on paid leave as the internal investigation continues. One of the officers we learned today, a 25-year veteran, the other a 21-year veteran. Both have gone through crisis intervention training and hostage intervention training. We also asked police today if these two specific officers have responded to Pink's residence previously on those previous calls that we obtained. We learned today they did not. Back to you, Clarice.